If you could sketch a poster, tidy a product shot, and mock up an ad before the kettle boils for your next cup of tea, would you still pay a designer to do these things for you? Today, I'm proposing a practical 5-step system for using ChatGPT's built-in image tools to produce on-brand visuals, thumbnails, ads, blog headers, product mock-ups, without leaving the chat. You'll see how to establish your brand look once per project, how to recreate the vibe from an example image without walking into copyright trouble, how to make fast in-chat edits, how to expand a composition for a wider layout, and how to turn all of this into repeatable workflows you can hand off. Because image creation and editing are now native in ChatGPT, you can click an image to open the editor, use the select tool to highlight exactly what you should change, and then describe the change in plain English. Lock your brand look once, not 20 times. Most teams reinvent their brand blue every time they ask the model for an image. That's how you end up with 3 different oranges across one carousel. ChatGPT remembers context inside a single conversation. So set your palette and your layout rules at the top, and you won't be retyping hex codes or layout notes for every variation. I use something like this. Use these brand colors in this conversation. Primary, navy, hex 0B3D91. Accent, orange, hex FF6A00. Background, white, hex FFFFFF. Keep layouts clean, bold headlines left, space for a face or product on the right. Then I ask for the first image, for example, a YouTube thumbnail background with a white base, the navy title block on the left, a subtle orange underline, and a clean space for a cutout head on the right. Without repeating the codes, I can then follow with a second ask for a square Instagram post in the same palette with generous headline space. The point is this: one visual language set once and you save a dozen tiny prompts on every batch of images. Even better, create a document, include your brand information, call it branding, and upload it to a new project called something like brand images. Then each time you create an image in a chat in that folder, it'll use the information in your branding document. Recreate the vibe instead of guessing the recipe. You don't need to reverse engineer a look by trial and error. Drop an image you admire. It might be an ad layout, a brochure spread, a thumbnail background. Then ask ChatGPT to describe the prompt that would recreate that overall vibe for your brand. It'll analyze the layout, the lighting, the palette, and the visual hierarchy, and it'll hand you a recipe you can adapt. From there, you can swap the product, keep the color blocking, remove logos, tighten the grid, increase white space, align the icons, and so on. You'll converge faster than you would by nudging adjectives around for half an hour. And there are ethical lines here. Don't ask for the exact style of a living artist, and do not clone real brand logos or trademarked assets. 3 quick reasons. First, the current image system will refuse prompts that try to generate in the style of a living artist. Second, OpenAI's usage policies ask you to avoid content that violates intellectual property rights and to steer clear of misleading use cases. But most importantly, you don't want to infringe anyone's copyright, because that can get you in a whole load of trouble and expense. So your safer brief is inspired by minimalist tech campaign layouts, not do Apple's latest poster. Make precise edits inside ChatGPT. Editing used to mean hopping out to a design tool for every tweak. Now you can reliably remove objects, replace items, adjust colors, and tidy backgrounds inside the chat. Click the image, open the editor, drag the selection brush over the bit you want to change, and describe the change in a full sentence. When you upload the image, you can also ask for broader transformations, pulling the camera back, changing the angle, or relighting a scene, because GPT-5 can take an image as input and produce a modified version, not just a fresh one. And this is extremely handy for thumbnails, for product swaps, and cleaning screenshots. But keep one constraint in mind: people. Photorealistic edits to faces and hands can drift or introduce artifacts. Use a light touch on human subjects and go heavier on objects and scenes. If a change is high stakes, So for example, a portrait that needs to be really accurate, or say a regulated product image, then the best approach remains to prove the concept in ChatGPT and then finalize the image in your Pro tool. Expand your composition and change the perspective. Many brand assets need a different perspective ratio. A blog header needs 16:9 landscape. A carousel needs a square. A banner wants something wider than a bus. You can ask ChatGPT to expand this photo into a clean 16:9 aspect ratio. Keep the product centered, add soft studio shadows, background white. You can also ask for a different angle, such as an overhead shot of the same setup. Then use the result as the right-hand page of a brochure spread. Text is much more reliable than it used to be, which makes on-image headings and short labels viable again. The latest model was built to follow detailed instructions and to incorporate text into images with far greater accuracy than the old diffusion approach. So your big headline blocks behave themselves far more often. That said, keep long paragraphs out of the image and in your design app. Use it for short headlines and one-liners. Turn features into workflows that actually pay off. Fancy effects don't move revenue. Repeatable systems do. So here are the 3 project folders or custom GPTs I suggest for this. The first is a thumbnail factory. Store the one-liner brand kit we talked about earlier and ask for 3 background variations that keep the left-hand title block, the underline accent, and an empty pocket on the right for your face cutout. You can then use this each time you want to place a headline, and it's always ready for you to export several versions. The second is a product mini shoot. Upload 2 plain photos of the item and ask for a 3-image carousel, the hero, a top-down, and a lifestyle mock-up on a wooden table, all with the brand palette as subtle accents only. Ask for them to be sized, say for LinkedIn landscape and Instagram square. And the third is an all-in-one-go A/B test. You can adapt a look you like using recreate the vibe. Request 3 headline options that fit that layout, export 2 variants and run a quick test. Iterations could change framing and color to learn which visual choices are most effective. There's a quality check routine you should run before finalizing anything. First, colors. Are your hex codes still exact? If they've drifted, restate them and ask the model to match them precisely. Second, edges and hands. If a human subject is in the frame, scan fingers, reflections and jewelry. If it looks off, simplify the change or swap to an object-based example. Third, the grid. Ask the model to tighten alignment and increase white space by, say, 15% while keeping the headline readable on mobile. Fourth, a quick voice score. I literally score this visual against my brand examples from 0 to 10 for style match. What minimal tweaks raise it to a 9? It'll suggest small concrete changes that will really enhance the look. So now you can get fantastic images easily using ChatGPT. But what if you want to use your face in an image, or if you want to maintain consistency between images? That's where this next video will really help.